right. Hey, bosses. Welcome to the final day of the Boss Up Your Organizational Skills series. Today is the final day of the Boss Up series this month. So sad, so sad. But today we're talking about how to organize your social media management systems. So this is going to be a nice and easy one. So for those of you that have been with me all week, you know my name is Lavelle. I am a virtual assistant who specializes in project management, and I also offer online business management services to my online clients who are usually coaches, consultants, and any service-based business providers. And I say that because I also say that when I'm coming to you with the tips and the tools, and strategies, you know, it's because I help them, my own clients with these things, and it's also things that I've done or I'm doing in my own business. So I'm not like coming on here like repeating something else that I've heard from like gurus and stuff like that. It's things that I'm actually implementing in my own business and, you know, with my clients. So today we're talking about how to organize your social media management systems, and I have three easy, I want to say they're easy, but three easy ways that I wanted to share with you to help you to do that. So we're going to just jump straight into it because today's the final day. So let's get right into it. So number one, it's create a social media strategy. Now, if you are an online business owner, I know most of you have to be on some type of social media platform, right? So the thing that I'm asking you to do is create some type of strategy for those platforms that you are on. So at a minimum, here are some of the things that I think that should be included in your social media strategy, right? One of those things are your goals. And when I say goals, I mean, you know, deciding, you know, what it is that you're trying to create content for, or what it is that you're on the platform for. So your goals could be related to growth. Growth, engagement, and conversion. So growth means maybe you're just trying to like increase your numbers on social media, right? Engagement means you're looking for more people, like you're already creating that content, you already have a lot of followers, you're looking for more people to actually engage with the content that you have on your social media platforms. The other one is conversion. So actually turning those people who are like fans and followers into actually clients or purchasers of the services or products that you provide. So any one of those three things could be the goals that you have as part of your social media strategy. Another thing that you should have as part of your social media strategy outside of the goal is determining, you know, what platforms you're going to be on. And when I say what platforms you're going to be on, it's because there are so many platforms, right? There's what? TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. I'm missing something. But there are like so many. You see what I'm saying? Like there are so many platforms that are out there that you could possibly be on. So as part of your social media strategy, you need to determine those platforms that you want to focus on. For whatever time period that is. And I say focus on because not saying that you should never get on all the platforms, right? Because at some point, especially when you're bigger in business, you may want to be on all the platforms. But when you're talking about your social media strategy, you need to narrow down your focus to one or two platforms. I say one, but if you want to do more than one, obviously you can do more than one. But just narrow down your focus to those platforms. The other thing that you need to determine as part of your social media strategy is the type of content that you create. Now, for example, if the one platform that you pick is YouTube, obviously, right, the content that you're going to create is videos because that's what mostly you're dropping on the YouTube platform. But if it's not YouTube, if your strategy is like to focus on maybe Facebook or Instagram, then you're creating graphics and long or short form captions that goes with those graphics on your social media feeds. Now, I will say that you do not necessarily have to completely ignore a platform because it's not part of your strategy. For example, right now, Twitter is not a part of my social media strategy. I don't check it. Like I'm not over there on Twitter as much. But what I do have, like I love automations. You guys will probably hear that in every Boss Up series at some point. One of my advices is to make sure that you're automating. And I love automations. And one of the things that I have automated right now in my business is if I create a blog post on my website, it auto posts to Twitter. So even though Twitter isn't a part of my strategy, it still gets a little bit of love and a little bit of content because once I create the blog post and I publish it on my website, it auto posts to my Twitter account, it auto posts to my Facebook. I'm trying to remember where else it auto posts. It auto posts to LinkedIn. I kind of turned that off a little bit for a while, but that's another place that I have it set to auto post to. And you can use I forgot the name of the tool. It's like blanking out of my head. But it's a plugin in WordPress that allows you to kind of auto post in multiple areas when you are publishing blog posts on your site. But I'm just saying that, you know, even though you may not be having a specific platform as part of your strategy, that doesn't mean you have to ignore it. You can do things like automation to make sure that it's still having content, new content going there to that place. All right. The last part of your strategy at a minimum that you should have is when you're going to post and how often you're going to post. So your strategy could be that you're posting like maybe once or twice a week on YouTube, or your strategy could be that you're posting, let's say, 3 times a week in Facebook. Like whatever that strategy is, you need to document it, and then you need to make sure that that's what you're going to be implementing as part of your strategy. So real quick, number 1, it's creating a social media strategy, and at a minimum, the things that you should have in that strategy are your goals. What are the goals of the strategy that you're implementing? Which platforms that you're going to be on? The type of content that you're going to create, and then how often and when you're going to be posting. So that's number 1. Number 2 is streamline your content creation and scheduling. Streamline content creation and scheduling, because this is one of those things where you can really like end up spending like an entire day on social media. Like you go to post one thing and then you just spent your entire day or half of your day like scrolling on social media when you were supposed to be going to do something else. So that's part of us trying to get back into organizing and get back into our brilliance, is doing things like streamlining our social media systems and strategies. So one of the tools that I love for this is Canva, because Canva allows you to both create content and it also has a scheduling platform. Now, I don't use the Canva scheduling platform because I already had a tool that I use to schedule my posts. But maybe one day I will use that part of the that feature in Canva. But right now I don't use it. But it's a tool that I know that has both. It has the ability to allow you to create your content, and it also allows you to post to certain platforms. I'm not sure which ones, because I don't use it for that capacity. The other thing when you are streamlining content creation and scheduling, make sure you have in your business a brand style guide. Now, a brand style guide at a minimum should have, these are the colors that I use in my business, these are the fonts that I use in my business, and these are the style notes. I call it style notes that you have in your business. For example, I have one client who, when we're posting content, like one of the words like she doesn't say to her followers is like should and but. Like those are words that she just doesn't say to her followers because there's like a connotation that goes with those. So I have in the notes, make sure we're not using the word should anywhere. Make sure that you're not using the word but anywhere, because this specific client doesn't talk to her clients in shoulds and buts. And I know you've heard people probably say before, stop shoulding on yourself. So that's one of the reasons why she doesn't use the word should when she's talking to her clients. So I make sure I put those notes in her style guide or her style notes, because I know like if I'm going to be posting anything on her platform, I don't use the word should or I don't use the word but. So if you are doing your own content, you should also document these things for yourself. And I say you should document it because you're like, well, I know what my colors are, I know what my fonts are, I know what I like and don't like. But the reason why I say you need to document this is because at some point in your business, you're going to get too busy to be doing your own social media, right? Like I have, and somebody else is going to probably come in and help you. And if you have something like a style guide or a brand guide already set and available, and it has like these notes in there, they will be coming to you with less and less questions because you have all this stuff already documented. And I said, unless you really love, like if you're never going to give your social media tasks away to anybody else and you just love doing it, then by all means keep doing it. But I think at a minimum you should have that style guide that has your colors in there, has your fonts in there, has your style notes in there, so that anybody else that's coming in to kind of help you in that part of your business, they have something that they can reference. So I say at a minimum you have a style guide, and it allows you to streamline your processes and your content creation and your scheduling. The other thing is a content calendar. Now I love, what's the brand? Boss Babe recently did a content, I forgot what it is, like a 30 days of type of content that you can post on. I believe it can be used for any platform. I'm not sure if it was specific to IG. But yeah, they have this content, this 30-day content planner or guide or whatever it is that you can go download from there that I love. So check it out. But you should have a content calendar in your business. Something like that will give you kind of ideas of, what you can post to your page, what you can post to your page, what you can post on your platform. What I like to do is have themes, like have my content months into themes. So I can't remember. This month is, I think, organization and time management. So that's why the boss up series for this month is, organizing your time management skills, organizing your social media skills, systems, organizing your, what did we do the first day? I'm trying to think back. No, my mind is blank. What did we do on day 2? I can't remember. It'll come back to me. But that's what this month theme has been around: organizing and time management. So I like to kind of bunch up my themes by month so that I'm creating like a group of content for a specific month. Now, I also have somebody else that comes in and helps me in my business. So when I'm not creating content, she can go to my content calendar or go to my theme calendar and be like, oh, okay, this is a theme that Lavelle is going for this month. So I'm going to create things that are related to time management and organizational skills to create for the platform, because this is what the theme is for the month. You can create themes like that if you want to, for your own social media management systems. Okay. If you don't want to do themes, you at least need to have like 3 areas that you are maybe focusing on in your business, whatever your business is. Have 3 different content areas that you need to focus on, and just pick that content for a month, and then that's what you go on for the month. Okay. The other thing that I like to have is templates. Now, Canva, going back to Canva allows you to have these templates in there. So for me, when my social media VA comes in to help with social media stuff, there is a set of templates that's already in there that she can work with. Now, that doesn't mean that she can't go and create her own stuff, but there are already templates in there that has my brand colors, right? It has my fonts in there, and it kind of give her an idea of what's already been posted on my social media platforms. So when she comes in to create content, she has an idea of what's already been there and how to move forward with creating new content. So that's the streamlining your content creation and your scheduling is one, finding a tool. When I say Canva allows you to do both, but you can have multiple different tools. Like for scheduling, what I use is, right now I'm using Later for scheduling. I used to use Hootsuite. I use Planoly for Instagram. Like, there are so many scheduling tool platforms out there. So find yourself something where you can use to schedule your content on Facebook, social media. You can even use Facebook itself, because Facebook now has like these tools within the business manager area. I don't know what they're calling the area these days, but there is an area inside of Facebook where you can go in and schedule your posts, you schedule your stories. What else does it allow you to schedule? In Facebook, it allows you to cross schedule to Instagram as well. So there's 2 birds with 1 stone right there. You can schedule it both to Facebook and Instagram at the same time within Facebook itself. So there are like so many different ways that you can schedule these things in your business, and you're just doing it in like one sitting. I like to create a ton of content at one time when I'm doing it. Create a ton of content at one time and then schedule it all out. So like right now, my content is scheduled out through April. Because I like to be at least a month ahead. So you can go in and do that too. Like, just create a time block for yourself where you're just working on social media content and creating it, and then scheduling it out, and then you are already good to go like for the next month. So it's good to get yourself in a cadence where you're at least 1 month ahead. But if you can be as far as like 3 months ahead with your scheduling, and that gets you back to all the other things that you should be working on. What did I say last week or the week before? Those CEO tasks in your business that you should be working on, then that's awesome, right? Get all the social media stuff out of the way for the next 3 months and get back to the things that you should be working on. So the last one I want to talk about is completing a strategy analysis. And I say this because, a lot of times we create a strategy, we start doing stuff with it. We don't see results immediately. And I'm looking at some of y'all. You don't see results immediately, so you want to just quit the strategy and go do something else. No. So part of the strategy that I talked about at the top is also making sure that you implement a timeline for that strategy. So it's whether or not you're going to do it by quarter, or whether or not you're going to do it by... You're going to do like a strategy analysis at mid-year, or you're going to do like a strategy analysis at the end of the year. But the thing with that is you have to be consistent with that strategy that you set. and then actually work the strategy until that time frame that you set. So whether it's you said I'm going to check it at the end of the quarter to see like what results are. So my example, for me, I'm checking my strategy at the end of this month. So my quarter ends at the end of March. So at March, I'm doing a pause on all social media activities, and I'm checking to see, what worked from December until the end of March. What worked, what didn't work, whether or not the things that I'm implementing are actually working. Like, for example, this Boss Up series that I do once a quarter, that's a part of my social media strategy, right? Because it allows me to, one, create a bunch of content around a specific topic for the month that I can repurpose and use across all my social media platforms. And it also allows me to have more content around, for example, this month is organization, time management. It allows me to create that content. So now for me, it's going back to see, okay, how did these videos and how did me going live at these times actually work out for me and the strategy that I have or the goals that I have for my business. So it's making sure that you have that checkpoint in there for you to actually go and see, okay, are these strategies or these plans that I have working? Am I meeting the goals that I set? Have I actually been posting on the social media platform that I said I was going to post on when I said I was going to post on it? And if I didn't do it, then, you can't really blame the strategy when you actually weren't implementing it for that time frame. So that's also the other part of why I said, you have to make sure that you put in a strategy analysis checkpoint, because you actually have to do the work, right? You have to actually do the work so that you're seeing what's working and what's not working. So that's the last part of it, right? Reviewing what worked and what didn't work. And then what were the results? Because then you're going to create the strategy for the next quarter, or if you're doing it on a yearly basis, you're going to create the strategy for your next year for social media. So that is it. That's my last one for today. This is the last Boss Up series, y'all. So there won't be another one until next quarter, and I have to figure out what the theme is. But I want to go over really quick what we talked about today, which is organizing your social media management systems. And the three things, and I won't go into details on all of them, but the three things that I recommend you do is, one, create a social media strategy that at a minimum has your goals, the type of platforms that you're going to be on, the type of content that you're going to create, and when and how you're going to post. Next is streamlining your content creation and your scheduling. So finding a tool that allows you to do both, and I recommend Canva for that, but if you want to go and use other tools, you can. Having a brand style guide, content calendar, themes, and templates. And lastly, completing a strategy analysis. So making sure that you're actually checking to see if those things that you plan, if they're actually working or not in your business. So that's it today on how to organize your social media management systems. Like I said, today's the last day of the Boss Up series. There won't be another one until Q2, and I have to figure out what the topic is. So if you have some ideas or suggestions on topics that you want to hear, make sure you comment below or comment if you are watching the replay of this. Because like I said, it's part of my social media strategy to create these videos and then repurpose this content. So you might be watching it now. It's no longer live. You might be watching the replay. But if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay in the comments. And you can also comment as well and let me know, what do you want to see in a future Boss Up series. So thank you all for joining me. For those of you that have been there for the entire Boss Up series month, I just loved it. I think I'm going to do this going forward, like more regularly on like one day out of the week versus trying to rush the entire series into in 1 week. I'm loving this. So we'll see what happens for Q2. So we always have to do it one time for the bosses before we roll out for this month. And you know what it is. Boss up and change your business.